All right, guys. Hey, I'm doing a square body update. I've had a couple questions, people asking progress on it. Yes, I am going to continue on it. As I've said before. Hi, Sadie. Welcome to freaking interrupted my videos. Anyway, I do have stuff to do on it. Plenty to do on it, but as I said before, I jump around, and the reason why I jumped around on this is I had some machine work to do for customers, as well as I needed transfer case for this one, because I don't want to use what is she doing? Oh, she's just getting cool. Transfer case for this one, I wanted a manual shift transfer case, and I had found a truck that had a 4.8 in it, 4L60E, and a manual shift transfer case. Didn't really want the 4.8, not that big a deal. I could have used it, but I had another guy, friend of a friend, wanting to do an LS swap. I talked him into buying that truck for the engine and transmission, and his transfer case switched over to the LS setup. So I still have about 19.5 inches take out there, not that big a deal. I have my steering shaft right there. This is my son's small block. He's tearing apart, doing whatever he's doing with it. Anyway, put it in the new steering shaft, whatnot, all that. On this LS swap, I conned my brother into coming over and helping. He's a automotive mechanic. I'm diesel, okay, big truck. I've worked on big trucks for 25 years, including about 7 years military service, Marine Corps. So anyway, I conned a little brother coming over. He's a master at these LS harnesses and Chevrolet harnesses and all that stuff. That's his industry. He's worked in for 20 plus years, 25 years, something like that. He's who I've always talked to about wiring and programming and all that stuff. He talks to me about diesel work. I talk to him about car work, so it kind of works out. Anyway, we've got it all labeled. Check engine light, VSS, brake switch, got fuel pump wires, got some grounds I got to hook up down there, and then all of the four-wheel drive stuff goes back in, because this truck is four-wheel drive. Sorry about the shaking. Anyway, I pulled this whole unit out, engine transfer case, of course with the trusty old crane. Pulled it all out one unit. I plan on going back in with one unit. I've got to do the fuel line modifications. Again, we've done the harness modifications. I'll have to put it all back in place, get it right, and then it'll be ready to go together. Again, the guy, it's four-wheel drive, so I wanted to use his transfer case. That way I didn't have to change a bunch of stuff there. Here's the engine going in. Needs cleaned up. I've already got the transfer case swapped over. It's pretty close to the same, but again, I wanted the sensors to be right. The shafts mounted different, so I wanted those to be right. That was handy. I made a plug transfer case off while I pulled it out of the truck, so I didn't bleed the fluid everywhere. Here's the transfer case that is going to go in my square body. Again, it's manual shift, so it makes things a little simpler. I don't have to worry about putting an electronic switch in the dash of the square body and it not looking right and all that stuff. So once I get this done, funding from this is going to buy my donor vehicle. I'll find a Yukon or Tahoe or something, that pick up whatever that's been wrecked, and I will rob the LS 4L60E, put this transfer case on it, and it'll go in the square body, and then I can start making drive lines. The way I'm going to end up doing that is once I get this swap out of the way, I'm going to get my measurements and everything wrote down for my cutout length. Everything's pretty close right now. I need to drag it back out, get all those measurements done, make sure the bed's square where it needs to be. I'll get the bed mounts built, get the bed mounted down, and then I will pull bed and cab off of it and cut frame, pull her together, zip her back together, and it'll be ready to go. And then I'll set the engine transfer case in the frame, get the drive lines built. Front drive line should, I'm going to say should, front drive line should bolt right into place because of being 4L60E. I don't know. I think my U-joint may be different. I may have to get a crossover joint for the front axle. Anyway, not that big a deal. If not, I have a lathe I can cut, weld drive shafts, no big deal. And then of course I have to move. I'll probably have to shorten one shaft or the other. It'll most likely be the front shaft I'll have to shorten in order to make all this work, because I'm going to cut it right in, probably under that mount, back to here somewhere, my 19.5 inches I think it is, 45-degree angle, pull it together, weld it, fish plate the inside, and then shorten front shaft, new carrier bearing, should be ready to go together. I believe, what did I do? I believe I have the front shaft for this. I think when I bought this chassis, I asked the guy if I could get the front shaft. Anyway, once I get the engine, transmission, transfer case, I'm gonna clean and scrub and probably paint the frame and all that stuff, car wash. It's not terrible, it's just service rust and all that stuff. I'll get it all looking good. Get all the fuel pump wiring and hosing, tubing, pressure lines. I'll get all that stuff in place. Engine's all ready to go. I'll have the harness sitting on top of it, ready to wire in once I get the cab back on it. The reason why, of course, I'm pulling the cab is because I've got to, oh, you can't see them. Anyway, I've got my mounts. I've got my mounts just skeletoned. Once I get the cab off, I'm going to set the cab on its back, and I will fill those in with plate, weld it all in, smooth it out. That way it'll look like a actual body mount tower. So yeah, there it is. Not a dead project, just stalled project. The only reason it's stalled is just for funding and doing customer work. So anyway, there it is. Then it'll be ready for body work. And I need fender, I need a hood, I need to cut a gas door out of something. I may have something out here. If not, I need to cut a gas door out of something to weld in the other side over there for that fuel tank. I'm gonna cut this one out, fill it in, whatever I need to do. Probably just make a round and just go around it, fill it in a little bit, bodywork it, bodywork the other dents. The truck isn't terribly rusted. It's got cab corner mount or cab corner rust, normal, no big deal. I'll knock all that out, drive it while I'm doing all that. It won't be my daily. I've got my daily, but yeah, it'll be my Friday, Saturday night. Go to Springfield and cruise around the cruise nights. And then it'll probably get sold because somebody will probably offer me money and I'll probably take it. If not, if they don't offer me what I want, I'll keep it. So there you go. Like I said, stalled, not dead. Just got other priorities. And again, I do jump around. So hope that answers questions. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys subscribe and keep tabs on this project and all the other crap I do.